Veszprém Balaton Calling Podcast. Történetek rólunk, neked. Láss mögé. Veszprém Balaton Calling.
Hello there, Internet. I'm Szabolcs Szikszai, a co-founder of Tureo, and you're listening to the latest show of our Veszprém Balaton Calling podcast, sponsored by the European Capital of Culture project, whose help in making this podcast is greatly appreciated as always. In case you've missed our earlier programs, you can replay them on our YouTube channel, or you can listen to them on the most popular streaming platforms. Joining us today from her ranch, or Tanya, I should say, near Lajos-Mizse, a town in the eastern part of Hungary, the lowlands, is Elena Sudák, an artist of many talents, who has devoted her life to getting to know and also caring for horses, and who is at the same time a big fan of the Veszprém Balaton region, the hills of Bakony, the shores of Lake Balaton, and of course the horses living in the region. So today we will talk with her. Hi, Elena.
Hi, everybody.
We will talk with her about her passion concerning horses, and also her relationship with the region of the Balaton Highlands. So, Elena, can I call you a horse whisperer?
Not really. I think I'm more of a horse carer or horse owner, or horse lover, I would say, but not a horse whisperer for sure.
Well, you've come a long way from Russia. You were born and raised in Russia, near Moscow, and then you went on to live in the US, and then you worked in the UK and then in Budapest. So could you tell us a little bit about your life story and how you ended up caring for horses in Tanya, in Hungary?
Like, as you pointed out at the beginning, of my life and my sort of professional life, I was born actually in Moscow, and then I ended up living in the US, in New York, for a couple of years. And then I came back to Russia to finish my university education. And then I moved to London, where I worked basically in administration or secretarial work for banks and an international law firm. And then I proceeded to work for an international law firm in Budapest, then moving into legal recruitment, working with an American company for quite a few years, and traveling the region, and living a very city life and high heels predominantly. And horses came into my life. They were trying to come into my life when I was a child, but my parents didn't have an opportunity to give me option of going riding or being with horses, because we lived in the middle of the city. And when I moved to Hungary, I went riding a couple of times with friends, but I didn't have my own horses. And horses seriously came into my life only when I moved to the countryside, to the Hungarian countryside, after my daughter was born 13 years ago, really. And then we didn't have our own horses, but then it happened. I had my first horse, and then the rest just followed.
Sure. That's quite a story there. As a foreigner, do you see Hungary as a horse nation? Did that have anything to do with you moving here? Or that people are more into horses here?
No, the horses didn't have anything to do with my move to Hungary. It was because of work. But definitely in Hungary, there are a lot of horses per kilometer. Lots of people have horses in the countryside. It's a very popular pastime, popular sport. And historically, Hungarians are known as a horse nation, right? And I was fortunate enough to build friendship with a lot of horse people, lots of traditional horse people, especially in the region. I mean, it's across the country, but especially in the Bachkiskun area. And we keep horses that come from Russia. I brought a couple of horses from Russia of a really old Russian Aboriginal breed. And I'm also involved into the breeding program of local Hungarian Kunfako horses.
Wow.
And I work quite a lot with them, and I own a couple of Kunfako horses, actually.
Is that your favorite?
I would say yes. These two would be my favorite breeds. They somehow fit my personality. But I love to have opportunity to work with horses of different breeds. And I love Ahaltekin, Arabian, heavy horses. They all have their peculiarities and their personalities as well.
And what about the horses in the Veszprém Balaton region? Do they have any peculiar characteristics? Yes.
Well, in Veszprém area, I'm familiar with Hutsul breeding program. It's Tüsköves Borstonya Ménes, or the stud.
Stud farm.
Yeah. I really love their horses. I really appreciate the hard work and love people who breed them put into their job. And they keep horses in the right way. The horses should be kept. So
did you spend some time here already?
Well, I have been there several times. Yes, I really enjoy visiting that area.
And you've been working in this, if I remember, around the Szép Alma stud farm.
It's like a place for retired horses, and it's a really beautiful facility. I have been there several times, working pro bono for several days. I greatly enjoyed. So their work sometimes is very challenging because often horses come injured with lots of health and mental issues. But this type of work maybe makes it more challenging. But at the same time, when you achieve the result with an animal in a positive direction, it's a very, very rewarding job.
So you're very much vested in the health of horses, right? Why is that so important for you?
Well, first I just want to, because I think we didn't mention what I actually do with horses.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Because you do. When you say you work with horses, what does that exactly mean?
Yeah. So I work with hoof rehabilitation. I'm educated in Norway in the hoof trimming school, led by and taught by Dan Guerrero. He's an American farrier who built his own and created his own school of bare hoof strategy. So it's one of my qualifications. And second, I am a equine body worker who is developing still my education. I'm still developing my education, and I'm studying in Denmark. So I work with the horse's body and with the horse's hooves. And if you improve the health of the horse, the physical health of the horse, the mental state of the horse usually improves, because 95 to maybe even less or more % of horses who misbehave or considered dangerous or have bad habits, they have their roots in pain or discomfort. Mm-hmm. So if you're the pain or discomfort, the horse becomes much calmer and easier to deal with, right? So why is it important for me? The health of the horse, I think it links to safety, because the healthier the horse, the more balanced it can be and more safe it can be to ride or to be around. If the horse is in pain, they can't control themselves and they can damage themselves or the people around them. So primarily it's safety, yes. And of course functionality, because we all want to use the horse in a in many ways. And if the horse is not healthy, you just can't use them, right?
Yeah,
and often horses destroyed if their health issues cannot be solved.
Yeah, so safety first. And when we check on your profile on Facebook, it says Elena Cutting. Does that refer to, trimming the hooves, trimming of the hooves?
Yes. So what's the question?
Is that difficult physically? To...
Of course, it is a very demanding, physically demanding job. And you certainly have to take care of your body if you want to do it long term. But it's not easy on the body. Not so the job, but when the horses have issues with their own body, they can misbehave when you try to trim them and fall on you, or they can't hold the balance, or they're not trained properly, and that creates more problem rather than the job itself.
Right.
That the horses are not properly trained, or health-wise they're not on the level where they can calmly accept being trimmed and standing on 3 legs, for example.
But let me just go back to my first question. Does that really help if you whisper into a horse's ear? Does that calm the horse down? No, it doesn't?
It doesn't. I think, jokes aside, I think talking to the horses can help to calm them down, because usually when horses are nervous, humans become nervous. When the human become nervous, they stop breathing. And when the humans stop breathing, the horse gets scared because they think something bad is going to happen to them. So I always advise people who are not confident about horses, but when they're around them, just talk to the horse and tell them, you can tell them whatever. I talk to the animals all the time. We have very funny, it's not a dialogue, more of a monologue, but I talk a lot with animals, for sure.
And you're not only a horse professional and expert, but you're also an artist, as I introduced you in the introduction. You portray horses in your artwork. You make mini sculptures, and we could see your exhibition in Veszprém, in the Auer House, the newly renovated house of the violin maker, of the only violin maker, Adamir Sümegi, in Veszprém. And now your exhibition, as far as I know, is moved to the Castle District, so hopefully we can see you there. Could you talk a little bit about your mini sculptures?
Sure. Well, some of them are mini and some of them quite of substantial size, I would say. So they're not that small. The sculptures, they mainly focus on the subject of a horse, though I do have other subjects like donkeys and some dogs and deer and elephants. So it depends. Sometimes what I often work on commission, so it depends on what people commission me to make.
Right.
Sometimes dragonflies, so anything is possible. But I love to make horses naturally, because in life that's kind of my passion, right? I make them from paper. It's a not traditional papier-mâché technique, so it doesn't involve water. But I work with glue and pretty much any type of paper I can put my hands on, and then it's paint. I usually prefer to work with the natural chalk paint and different waxes. The technique involves a lot of pressing the layers of paper together around the wire cutters, making the sculpture very solid and hard, and with a very nice solid feel to it when you touch it. It's also quite difficult to break or to damage unless you use lots of water. So if the sculpture falls down, generally it can crack and it can easily be repaired. That's what I like about.
So it's very much like clay from the outside or ceramics. But if you touch it feels different.
When you look at them, they look like they can be made of clay or wood or stone. When you touch them, then you can feel that they're not made of those materials, right? So it's quite deceiving depending on how you treat the surface and what type of painting effect you apply to the surface.
I think that's very special. I haven't ever seen anything like that before. And how many sculptures do you have in Veszprém right now?
I think at least 30, I would say.
30.
Yeah.
Most of them horses, of course.
Yeah, I think so. There are a couple of donkeys, or mainly we took horses this time. Right?
I remember you said something about a two-headed horse. Is that here in Veszprém? Can we see that or?
There are quite a few sculptures of two-headed horses, right?
Sure. So that's kind of interesting. That's not something that comes from Hungarian tradition or mythology.
It is not, but there are lots of artifacts from found in the Carpathian Basin in the stone they kind of dated to the Stone Age, and some artifacts that depict two-headed creatures, and that's one of the sources of my inspiration. These artifacts from old ages. I really love to look through books and go to museums wherever possible to connect with the old times, so to say, and draw my inspirations from there. And that's how my idea of two-headed horses basically developed.
Can we talk a little bit about your relationship to Veszprém and the region, the Balaton region? When was the first time you visited here, and what did you do? Did it have anything to do with horses, or was it something different?
I have been living in the country for more than 20 years. And of course, from the very first years, Balaton in summer became a part of my life, to visit and to escape the summers and be on the water. So I developed a really great connection, not only with the area, but with the people who live there. And I was able to cultivate lots of long, dear friendships in that area. Currently, we love to go to the area because of sailing, because my husband really loves sailing, and my daughter, who is 13 years old, she's also learning sailing. So do
you like sailing?
Personally, me, no, because I'm a bit of a loner. I like to work alone.
Yeah, and it's different from riding a horse, right?
I'm not really a team player. I can be quite a good team player, but naturally, it's not my thing. I enjoy to do things alone more.
So what do you enjoy to do here around Veszprém? Or?
I love the city of Veszprém because I think it has such a lovely ambience with little galleries, streets, and restaurants. So it's just lovely to come in the afternoon and spend several hours there, to be near the water, and then maybe next day you can go and walk in the hills of Bakony and don't see people and just enjoy the nature. And there's so many beautiful villages to visit, like Szentbekala, Szentkála, if we are talking about like popular destinations. There's such a variety the region can offer, really.
And the people, of course, because you have many friends here, including Elamir, who we mentioned earlier.
Yes, and we have quite a few friends, also horse people, because I had an opportunity to be a part of Kali Polo Club.
Oh.
I used to work there a little bit, helping out during the polo games.
Did you also play, or did you just help out with?
I actually had an opportunity to train a little bit and take part in some games, and it was a very interesting, very, very good time. And I think it's quite a unique experience to be in that environment and to experience riding those horses and be around them, because it's a very special, unique sport, right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, of course.
Yes. The wines also are great in that area. So there are plenty of very interesting places to visit, like Shoma Pince.
Yeah.
Shoma wine place with Bot Gabor. And
yes.
You mentioned Alamir also, who is a master luthier.
Yes,
and
a violin maker.
Who gave me this amazing opportunity to show my work in his newly opened violin making studio in the city, in the historical part of Veszprém. I'm very, very grateful for all these connections.
How did you get to know him? It's a funny story.
It's a funny story because everybody thinks that I know Elemer through horses, but actually true, the horses just followed. But I had friends who wanted to buy a very special type of sheep. It's called Walliser sheep. Usually people know this breed as Shaun the sheep from the cartoon. And it's to find the sheep in the country, and somebody recommended me Elemer because actually he was breeding this type of animals. So we just started talking about the sheep, and then we realized we both have horses and we both love horses and we both artists. So friendship developed from this kind of connections.
So ultimately you fell in love with the Balaton region, right? Veszprém and
yes.
So you have plans moving here, or maybe opening up I don't want to say a business, but something, a shop related to horses or anything like that?
I think anything is possible, and could be a very attractive idea, but there should be an opportunity there because, we live in a different part of the country, and to facilitate such a move, there should be a good idea behind it, a good opportunity. So definitely the area is very attractive. It's very popular with visitors, with international and local tourists. So definitely for a person like me who is interested in art, it could be a very attractive setup, maybe to have a little gallery that make the gallery as a attraction point for tourism. I can definitely imagine it being possible, but again, you need to have right opportunities for that. But anybody can dream, right?
Yes, and dreams come true, right? If you dream a lot,
you never know.
Yeah, sure. So you would definitely, if you had your way, you would open maybe a place related to horses where you could help people with horses and also introduce people into the art and the science related to horse keeping.
Definitely, because it's becoming more and more popular to use, not only in Hungary. Hungary is just following kind of this movement, but globally, horses are more and more being used for helping people with mental issues, with trauma issues, people who can't find themselves in this world, because this world is very demanding on the humans, and we have less and less time for ourselves. So horses are used to make people feel better for therapeutic reasons also. So, and combined with the beautiful nature of the region, definitely you can make a sanctuary that could help not only horses but also people who come there. And you can create very interesting programs that probably will involve specialists coming from abroad also.
Well, that's a beautiful line. Thank you. Beautiful note.
Life, but again, nobody tells us not to dream or not to brainstorm the opportunities, because if you never say anything, nothing will happen. And if you not do anything, nothing will happen. So you have to talk about the things that are important to you, things that you see potential in, that interest you. You have to interact openly with other people, because maybe somebody will like your idea.
And
right?
Horses, of course, yes. Thank you for telling that. And I hope your dreams become reality sooner than later. Just one more question about your exhibition. Where is it now exactly? Can we see it?
We actually packed it. At the moment, my works are in storage. They are not exhibited because the building that we were supposed to exhibit them experiences some problem with flooding of the premises, and so we have to wait until
it's sorted out. Yes. But it's in the Castle District, and
Castle District, and I will be very happy to invite you.
Thanks. I'll be the first to visit. Thank you very much. It's been amazing to talk with you, and wish you all the best with people and horses and your plans in Veszprém, and hope to see more of your sculptures and other artifacts. We've been talking to Elena Sudák from her Tanya in Lajos Mizsa online. This has been our latest program on the Veszprém Balaton Calling podcast. And thank you for listening. And we would also like to say thanks to our sponsor, the European Capital of Culture 2023 project, whose help made it possible to relay all this information to you. So thank you one more time, and I'll see you in one of our future podcasts.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thanks.
Bye.